Hello, everyone. My name is Regina Miller, and I am back with where I left off from yesterday. Why did five men marry me? And I left off with, having sex with five men. And that was something that was very hard for me because, as we all know, um, sex comes with spirits. Sex comes with a lot of emotions and a lot of, just, I would say, mostly spirits. Sex comes with spirits. And so just imagine after each husband, me being spiritual, I had to spiritually release. So that means what I did was I went abstinent for, say, like a year after each husband so that God could, cleanse me up from the last man. Because that's a lot of spiritual things going on there. Because, like I said, I got married most of all so that I could have sex. So there was a lot of sexing going on. And so when I released myself from the marriage, I had to release my body from it also. And when you are a Church of God of Christ Kojic like I am, you will understand what I'm talking about. If you don't understand, just stay tuned with me and you'll get to know a lot of these things that I'm talking about because they're all mostly spiritual. And so that was the part that was, I would say, a little the hardest part. Breaking up is never easy. I don't care if you met somebody for 6 months and you broke up with them, it's not easy because this is somebody who you got used to. This is somebody who you became friends with, and you're used to talking to them at least every day. And now you go from every day to you're dead. You know what I'm saying to me? So, for those of you who, again, like I say in this series of Why Did Five Men Marry Me, they married me because I'm a good woman. Um, I'm not the best woman, but I was a good woman in front of their eyes. Someone that they choose to say, hey, I'm going to marry this person. I want to be married to this person. Um, and so, for those of you who are trying to get married or desire to get married or manifest in marriage, wife or husband, however you go about your life, um, these are some things you need to think about. And you wonder why in marriage, men or women are possessive or they're jealous or they're narcissistic, narcissist. It's because a lot of time it's the sex that you're taking on with one another. I remember my grandmother told me, she said, don't do oral sex. She said, because the Bible does not say to do oral sex. She said, that's something that the world chooses to do. And my grandmother, she was like, oral sex is something that it comes with spirits. And she said, that is going to be a problem. And we young, we trying to do what we do. But I learned later on, and I also learned with my last husband that that is very true. Certain sex acts are just very dangerous. You shouldn't be doing them, and it will definitely cause major um, things to happen in your life that you're not ready for. With my last husband, I thought that I was like, oh, I did things that I didn't do with the four before him, and I'm saying like mind, body, and spirit. I did things that because I was like, man, this is my fifth husband, you know, like this is my fifth husband. Like I'm gonna just give it a shot. I'm gonna do things that I just never did with anybody else. But the sad part about that is he was my worst husband. So here I am trying to make something work with the worst one out of the whole bunch. And it caused him to try to take my life on the end of the marriage. Of course, I'm a child of God, and as you can see, I'm sitting before you. I'm still here, and that gives you a lot of understanding as to why I'm telling my stories every day. Because, like I say, when God has delivered you from things, people, situations, I don't have no secrets. I don't have no embarrassment. All I have is testimonies. Again, like I always say, let it be your testimony. So, yes, he tried to, on the end, that was what he wanted to do. And God stepped in and allowed me a way of escape. And I will never, I will always be thankful and grateful to God for it. And so that's why I live my life the way I live it right now. Because a lot of things, if God had not delivered me from, I wouldn't be here today. So I don't take my life for granted. I don't take these days for granted. I don't take these conversations for granted. It's to help someone. We find ourselves sometimes sleeping with the enemy. And that's what that was. Now, out of all of my husbands, the the last one was the worst one. The last one was the one that made me say, "I'm out." Even my mother, she said, when you run into a fool, you'll know. And she also said, when you'll know when you're tired. And with that one, I learned a lot about me. I learned about what I can take, what I can't take, what I will take, what I won't take. I tried a lot of things. I learned a lot of things. But most of all, I found out who I was after that situation. So sometimes, you have to go through things to get through things. And I don't want nobody to go through a marriage that is toxic, narcissist, a lot of, you know, just things that are not loving or kind. You know, Marrying someone who is a worldly person is never good. I don't like gossiping. I don't like nothing worldly. When I come home at night from my job, I like peace. I don't want to know what everybody in the world was doing. Leave that outside the door. So some people you run into, they're not from the cloth you're cut from, and you find yourself with them. Sometimes they say like the opposites attract. It's true, you know. But like I said in the last series, 4, you need to have God in your life, because there's going to be some things and challenges that you go through that you are not going to be able to get out of if you don't have God in your life. And so I just challenge you to trust God, get to learn Him, know Him, and build a relationship with Him, so that no matter what you're faced with, like I was, you can get through it and let it be your testimony. My name is Regina Miller, and I'll be back tomorrow with another series, Why Did 5 Men Marry Me?